Something that so many of us have been discussing. Over the last few weeks, there's been much talk about stopping the stigma around mental health issues. We've heard about Lane Johnson, Ben Simmons, our own movie critic Kevin McCarthy. We've shared their stories on the show, and today we wanted to explore shifting the shame and taking back your power. We know, or you know, that we try to be about solutions as much as possible. So joining me now is life coach Sherry Elise to explore this a little bit. Good morning. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Bill.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. How much does it mean when you have these high-profile individuals, people who at least publicly you think their life is perfect? How much does it mean when they talk about their challenges?
I think it means everything to everyone, because we often think that those who have it all, money, success, fame, that they have no challenges, that they have everything that we want. So when they come forward and talk about their common shared struggling, it helps people feel less alone and less isolated.
Now, we shouldn't be surprised, though, right? I mean, we are every time this happens, but we shouldn't be. They're just normal people, even taking into consideration how they appear.
Absolutely. I mean, the truth is as you said, there's 1 in 5 U.S. adults. So that means, like, as you're standing at the grocery store, one person in that line is struggling. As you're at your Thanksgiving table, one person in your family is struggling. So no one is immune to mental illness. So it's something that I really think, and we're bringing it more to the forefront, but it's so important that people understand that it could be anyone.
Now, and when you work with your clients, you focus on things like self-compassion and not judging yourself. Tell us what that means and how you do it.
Well, self-compassion, I believe, is a game changer. It's foundational for any sort of healing. And what that really consists of, it's this idea of being kind to yourself. It's the idea of recognizing that you're not alone. And it's also the idea of being present, mindfulness with your thoughts. At the end of the day, whatever challenge or struggle that we're dealing with, we make it that much harder when we're harder on ourselves.
So what does it mean? And part of that process is trying to shift the shame. Like, I've heard that. I've heard, you've expressed it. What exactly does that mean in terms of shifting the shame?
Well, besides the mental stigma from the outside world, people who are struggling with mental illness often have, lower self-esteem, lower self-worth. They have the biggest inner critic in their minds. And so beyond what the world is saying, they're already feeling badly about themselves. So the practice of self-compassion, what it does is that it allows us to stop feeling badly about what we are experiencing. So it's taking the shame away simply by the way that we treat ourselves and speak to ourselves.
Now, we talked a little bit about the celebrity situation. When Ben Simmons came out, he didn't speak, but when people said that there were some emotional challenges, some mental health challenges, there were people who stepped out and said he's just doing that to gain sympathy. There were people who questioned whether or not it was authentic. I remember hearing that and cringing. Like, how careful do we have to be trying to judge people who come forward?
Listen, none of us know what any of us are going through. And oftentimes what comes out of our mouth are coming from our own personal fears and challenges and struggles. But it is so important that we empathize and hold compassion for other people, because the truth is that we never know who's listening. So whether true, not true, we don't know. But there's someone out there who is then going to continue to hide what is happening with them because of what others are saying.
Yeah, I saw a quote that said people generally don't pretend to be depressed or upset. They pretend to be okay. And we need to kind of take that into consideration when we're dealing with folks.
Absolutely. I think it's really hard for anyone to talk about the things and be vulnerable that we're going through. And so anyone that is brave enough to share their journey, we need to be able to just listen. It's just like, when the Me Too movement came out. To be honest, Bill, I am a survivor. And when I had other people talking about that, it made me feel less alone as well. So we all just need to show up and be there for one another.
Well, we appreciate you starting the morning with us and being willing to share that these are challenges you've faced as well. Many of us have. So thank you, and you have a great morning.
Thanks, you too.
You take care.